Welcome back, Story Hour friends. We're so glad you're back this week for the next stop on our virtual trip around the world. This week, we are beekeeping. We'll hear a rhyme about a bumblebee. Then we'll read a story called Please, Please the Bees by Gerald Kelley. Because this week we are traveling to the most populated country in the world. It produces more honey than any other country in the world, China. The people of China use honey and bee products to make cakes and snack foods. They are learning about the health and nutritional benefits of honey. Villagers in southwestern China collect honey for a living. The honeycombs are on high cliffs that they must climb, and then they go back down the cliff with their honey treasure. Of course, if you are collecting honey, there's a good chance you will get stung. One man says he gets stung 50 to 70 times every day. Ouch! He has been stung so many times the stings don't bother him anymore. Do you remember a rhyme about a bumblebee? I wonder if Chinese children learn this rhyme when they are little. We're going to sing a song about bees, and you have a bee. I better catch one, okay? Got it. Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna see it.
You see it in there?
Yeah!
Okay, ready? Hold your bee. I'll hold my bee. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Buzzy, buzzy, buzzy. Ouch! He stung me. Should we do it again? I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Buzzy, buzzy, buzzy. Ouch!
Ouch!
He stung me.
Yeah.
Please, Please the Bees by Gerald Kelley. Please, please the bees. Benedict was a creature of habit. He liked to do the same thing every day. Every morning he woke up at the same time. Every morning he stretched, he scratched, and he yawned a great yawn. Every morning the bees delivered 3 jars of honey. Benedict ate the same breakfast he'd eaten since he was just a fuzzy cub. Toast with honey and tea with extra honey. Next came his daily routine, practicing, perfecting his honey cake recipe, knitting, and running errands. At night he'd read, then have one last cup of honey tea before bed. Life was sweet. Until one morning things weren't the same. In fact, something terribly unsame happened. There was no more honey. The bees had gone on strike. Benedict's breakfast wasn't the same without honey. Without his honey tea, he couldn't knit. Practice was dreadful. He didn't even bother with the errands. Benedict became deeply discouraged. Just then he heard someone say, "Hey, you in the fur coat." It was a very small bee with a remarkably loud voice. "We need to talk," said the bee. "Talk? Grumbled Benedict. "I let you all live in my yard, and all I ask for is a few jars of honey. You should be grateful, not go on strike." "A few jars," said the bee. "Buddy, we deliver 3 jars of honey to you every day, every month, every year. Do the math, Einstein." "The hive is a wreck," the bee continued. "It's all we can do to keep the walls from falling in. The roof leaks, wind blows through the cracks, and the last 3 queens up and quit us because of the lousy working conditions." The bees showed Benedict the garden. "Look," the bee said, "weeds everywhere. We have to fly miles away just to find enough flowers to make our honey. So we voted to strike." "You're taking us for granted," the bee declared. "You want honey? Things need to change. It's up to you, bear." And with that, the very small bee flew off. The thought of losing his honey sent a chill down Benedict's spine. He had a lot to think about. "Maybe I've been too selfish," Benedict said to himself. "I never thought about what the bees need, but now I'm going to make this right." So he did some research. He did a little shopping. And he did a lot of work. Benedict even learned how to harvest honey. "I suppose it's a bit rude to expect them to do it all themselves," he thought. Finally, he was ready to show the bees all the work he'd done. What would they think? He held his breath as he waited. Then he heard the remarkably loud voice of the very small bee. "Drop the signs, girls! It's time to get back to work!" These days, Benedict is still a creature of habit. He still has his daily routine, but he doesn't take the honey for granted anymore. He knows his life is sweet, but now it's even sweeter for everyone. The end. Be sure to visit your Town of Porter library to pick up your story hour in a bag with everything you need to make a paper bee and some great books as well.